Hey everyone, it's news from the Frunk. I thought we'd never do this again, but, you know, why not? Hey everyone, welcome back. Let us talk Tesla. So much has gone on in the last, God, how long has it been since the last news from the Frunk? 6 months, 8 months, who knows? This might be a kind of rambly episode, or I might spread it over 2 or 3 as we talk about a bunch of different things. I'll refer to some notes to try and keep it a little bit cohesive and coherent, but who knows? Whether we will get more regular episodes in the future, I don't know, but let's have a quick chat about things Tesla. Alrighty, since we are sat in the Model S, let's talk about Tesla cars to begin with. Tesla Motors no longer exists. It is now just Tesla. With the acquisition of Solar City, the merger of everything, there is now one big humongous company with the factory in Fremont, the Gigafactory in Nevada, and then the Solar City factory up in the Northeast, wherever it is, New Jersey, is it? Somewhere up there. So we have a single entity. They just reported their quarterly shareholder earnings, which we'll maybe talk about that in another episode. Today, let's just talk about a few random things. Model 3 is still proceeding. All kinds of rumors, still not a huge amount of fact out there. Unplugged Performance, the guys who did the body kit for this, who are based right next door to the Hawthorne facility where SpaceX is, managed to spot one of the Model 3s undergoing testing alongside of that Hyperloop track that they've got down there. Quick aside, if you haven't watched the Hyperloop test video, that's kind of fun. I'll put a link in the doobly-doo. Tesla just built a track which was about a 6-foot diameter, I guess, track along the side of the road next to the SpaceX facility in Hawthorne, and did some testing down there. But anyway, back to Model 3. Quick snapshot of the Model 3 undergoing some kind of testing. Doesn't seem to be any different than the cars we've seen before. No real news. Allegedly, based on some of the things that Elon has said, they are still on track to get the first cars rolling off the line, the first test cars rolling off the line towards the end of June, maybe. Allegedly, again, I'm kind of reading between the lines and picking up all kinds of various stories here and there. The sequence of events is they have the alpha cars, which we've seen already, the beta cars, which are the ones they do all the road testing on and all the crash testing and a bunch of other things, and then they get the production candidates and finally the production cars. Officially, there are no beta cars yet. Those are usually hand-built. There's certainly, the line isn't finished yet, although the factory did shut down for a week as they moved various things in the factory and began to get things ready to finish building out that Model 3 production line. The suppliers are all gearing up and getting ready. There is a story, I can't remember which one it was, not too important, but Tesla did sack one of its suppliers. So what impact that's going to have, knowing Elon and knowing Tesla, they probably had some fallbacks. But everything just does seem to be gearing up towards the autumn launch of the car. We will see. In other news, Model X continues. We now have the 7-seat, the 6-seat, and the 5-seat. It's difficult to tell exactly what's going on because there is this thing called selection bias. News stories that are really interesting tend to bubble up and give you a very distorted picture of what's going on. If you take that small selection of news stories, it still looks like there are some quality control issues with Model X, which I find amazing. But production is running at 1,000 a week. Model S is running at 1,000 a week. Everything seems to be moving forward apace. My guess is that almost all of the attention is now focused on the Model 3 production line and building out the Gigafactory. But we are still seeing improvements. Model S and Model X Autopilot version 2 continues to evolve. There's just been a new software update. I don't have the details to hand, but I'll try and research that and maybe publish some information in another episode. All right, changing stories completely. there has been some criticism about the amount of time it has been taking to repair Model S. As you probably know, all the Model S cars and the Model X cars are aluminum, as we say over here in the US. And that poses particular challenges for repairs. But it's not only that. There seems to be huge difficulty in getting hold of spare parts. I don't know why that is, but there are a handful of stories. Again, probably selection bias. The average situation probably isn't this bad, but there are stories of it taking 7 months to get parts to repair cars. Hopefully that is the anomaly and not typical, but it does look like there may be some systemic problem that Tesla is trying to fix, because there was an announcement this week that Tesla is going to approve 300 new body shops to do work on the cars, which will hopefully help clear some of that backlog and make sure that in future we don't have the wait times that we've seen for repairs that some owners have had. In Model S news, my friend Brooks, who runs the Drag Times website, again, link in the doobly-oo, and he's on his, I don't know what it is, 4th or 5th Model S. He has the P100D and has been setting all kinds of records with that car. I think both he and his wife, I think he holds the Model S record, certainly for any production car owned by a regular owner, in terms of a 0 to 60 time and the quarter mile time. And I think his wife owns the record for the Model X time. Anyway, Brooks just posted a recent video that I'll link to down below that shows the latest testing he's done, both on the dyno and on the track, with the latest update. He also did some really interesting tests on battery capacity and how quickly the car will accelerate under different states of battery. Way back when, this car is now over 4 years old, but way back when, we struggled to get a straight answer out of Tesla as to the impact of state of charge on performance. The rule of thumb that came straight from the mouth of JB Straubel was keep it above 90% if you want to get the absolute maximum performance out of this. That seems to have been validated by the latest work that Brooks has done. If you want to get the absolute, utter last iota of performance on a drag strip out of this thing, you really need to charge it up as high as you can get it. For general driving around the roads, anything above about 85% doesn't seem to change very much. So you are going to get almost the best performance you possibly can, as long as you keep it above about 85% of charge. Between 85 and 75, it drops off a little bit. Brooks took it all the way down to 10%, and it seems like below 10% or at 10%, you get a pretty significant drop off. I think, if I recall correctly, I don't have the numbers in front of me now, but you can watch the video yourself. The best he's got is about 2.3 seconds or 2.4 seconds at 100% state of charge. He lost about a second. It was down at about 3.2 or 3.5 when the battery was way down. But you kind of expect that. You don't want to damage the battery as you get down to those very low states of charge. But you got to remember, 3.5 seconds will still outperform almost anything else on the road, unless you've got some kind of crazy performance sports bike, or you've got, you know, a Veyron or something. So we are talking about, you know, in Tesla terminology, ludicrous performance. But anyway, a good set of data with some back-to-back tests on the same road at different states of charge that finally put that discussion to rest. All right, well, I mean, this is news from the Frunk, and generally we focus on the cars, but let's just switch for a moment to the other bit of Tesla, or one of the other bits of Tesla, the solar side of things. There was a story quite a few months ago now about Tesla supplying an island with electricity using the solar panels and solar storage, the power packs. A news story this week with a video that, again, I'll link in the doobly-doo down below. Tesla supplying the island of Kauai in Hawaii with a huge solar farm. Looks really cool and interesting. That was kind of eclipsed with a series of tweets that happened at the end of the week, and again, I'll try and link down to the doobly-doo, where there have been some blackouts in South Australia. And a billionaire down there said in a tweet, "Hey Elon, if I come up with the money and the political will, could you guys solve this blackout problem for us?" To which Elon tweeted back, "Yep, if you can come up with the money, we will build out a 100 megawatt system in 100 days. So that story is evolving, but Elon, always the one to make the big claims and the big promises, seemed to have put down a big poker chip. So we will see how that story plays out. What else can we talk about? Well, this car, my Model S P85, passed its 4th birthday, January 2nd of 2017. I still don't have a huge amount of mileage. It sits in here a lot of the time. I work from home, so I don't do a huge amount. I've only got 37,000 miles on this. I've now taken out the extended warranty, so I've passed the extended warranty is 4 years or 50,000 miles, so I've passed my 4-year limit. So I've now bought the extended warranty on this, touch wood, no real problems anytime recently. I have seen some posts on Facebook the other day of folks who've already passed 200,000 miles on their Teslas, still going strong. Now, the ones that I did see say that they have had to replace the battery. Again, if you've done 200,000 miles in a car, the likelihood is it was one of the earlier cars, and we do know there were various challenges as Tesla was evolving the technology and figuring out, the reliability on some of these components. I really don't know what the longest battery range is in terms of the number of miles that someone has driven on a single battery. I know someone had their battery replaced at 110,000, but whether anybody has got up over 150 or up towards 200,000 miles on a single battery, I don't know. These batteries are supposed to be good for about 500,000 miles. They are rated at about, give or take, allegedly, again, we've got no hard data, but allegedly about 2,000 cycles, which, given that you can get 300 miles out of a full battery, or 250 miles from a full battery, multiply that by 2,000, you get 500 to 600,000 miles. So if anybody's watching this and has a high mileage car and you want to put some comments down below, let me know how you are performing. All right, that'll do it for today. I am about to go inside and dial into a conference call, which is the board meeting of the Florida Tesla Enthusiasts Club. There are now official Tesla owners clubs across the entire world. So if you are a Tesla owner and you are not a member of the owners club, then sign up. If you don't know how to find your local club, drop me a note in the comments down below and I will connect you with the appropriate club. Those of us that are passionate and interested in Tesla, I think it's good fun to just give a little back and join with your Tesla driving friends and colleagues, learn a little bit about the car, share experiences, share stories, attend some social events, and maybe also help Tesla with the direction of where they're taking things. I know they're eager to hear from us, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like they're listening very strongly. The news does get through to them eventually. All right, that's it. Another episode of News from the Frunk is done. I will talk to you again, who knows when. Bye for now.